Anyway, boys, I'ma keep it real. If I started my YouTube career, let's say 5 years earlier, I wouldn't do gaming. I wouldn't do League of Legends. I wouldn't do anything that we're doing right now. The one thing I would be doing is f***ing toy reviews. Because toy reviews, believe it or not, had a CPM of over f***ing $50. That shit was bonkers, bro. And you might be thinking, what is toy reviews? Well, toy reviews, you might know a kid who was 4 years old when he was making millions off of the YouTube. And his name is Ryan ToysReviews. So let's see the dark side of Ryan ToysReview. Let's see what Sunny has to say about it.
I think the important thing is just make sure put the kids first.
True that.
Nothing more than a tool for marketing to very young children, zero value to kids. It's straight up dangerous and should be blocked by most parents.
Targeting your totals like cigarette companies. Technically, when it comes down to marketing, bro, that's the beauty of targeting advertisements toward kids. That's why YouTube had the entire thing when they banned all of the CPMs, all of the marketing towards kids, and they created a separate YouTube Kids. Because that was vile. That was nefarious, bro. Because give your kid a fucking iPad and he will constantly watch the videos and he's bombarded by advertisements. So, bro, when it comes down to making money and business, I'm not saying it's moral what the companies were doing. I'm just saying I understand the profit when I see it.
I hate this channel, everything about it, seriously awful. It's a giant commercial and they are always talking about freaking McDonald's. Young brains are impressionable and this is completely not what I want my child to witness as fun. Garbage, pure garbage, just another way to manipulate kids to make money for this type of parents. It has no educational purpose. Why does a child need that many toys? He's gonna have girl issues because everything is about me. Ryan's toy review was like a trash reality TV show for small children. It seems to be addictive for kids yet has no real substance.
True that. True that. That's the entire content for kids. No substance whatsoever, just works.
According to Forbes, throughout 2020, Ryan's World took home an approximate income of $29.5 million, making him the highest paid YouTuber for the year, above the likes of Mr. Beast and Jeffree Star.
A kid. Let that sink in, chat. A fucking kid. 29 million taken home. Think about it. That's what I'm talking about. If I started doing YouTube 5 years earlier, I would do fucking toys reviews. Toys were paying mad money.
The most significant part, which I'm sure many of you are already aware, is that Ryan is only 9 years old, making him younger than the Angry Birds mobile game, the film Avatar, as well as the legal working age for a McDonald's employee. 29.5 million isn't exactly a bad wicket for anyone who's yet to go through puberty, and considering in every episode it looks like Ryan is having the time of his life, on the surface it seems as though the Ryan's World channel is the spitting image of perfection itself. However, like all things in life, the Ryan's World channel has a dark side that's rarely talked about in the media.
We try not to capture any moment that Ryan's in distress.
Legal battles to do with not fully
in distress, bro. That's a child. What do you mean you're not trying to capture that? That's how you make money. Of course you'll be capturing everything. That's the problem with that. Because when it comes down to YouTube, especially in those years, and toys reviews, bro, all you're doing is pumping videos every single day. Every single day. So basically, your kid still hasn't finished the school. He's already working 5 to 9. And he's only 9 years old.
Disclosing paid sponsorships within videos, the exploitation of Ryan for the financial gain of his parents, and most surprisingly, the criminal history associated with Ryan's mother, Kaji, who in her younger years actually went to prison.
7-year multi-million-dollar YouTube star Ryan Kagi's
7 year. So when he was 9 years old, he was making 30 million. So right now, yeah, bro, imagine that. You're going to the first grade. You just finished kindergarten. You're going to the first grade and you're a millionaire already.
Mother has a criminal past.
In June 2002, when Ryan's mum was 18 years old, she was caught shoplifting at a J.C. Penney located in her hometown of Houston, Texas. The security of the store discovered that she'd been trying to steal 6 items of clothing, totaling $93, which is equivalent to around $135 today. After being taken back to the police station, she would be fined $150 for the theft, given 40 hours of community service, as well as being put on a 6-month probation period. On top,
technically she was 18, you know? Technically, your brain is still that of a teen. You're doing dumb shit. But legally, you already are grown up. So you have to be held accountable and you have to be responsible. But that's not the way world works. Bro, when I was 18, I was doing dumb shit as well, bro. I did dumb shit when I was 20, you know? It doesn't matter the age, but still. Because we have that mentality that, bro, I'm still a kid. And that realization that, bro, I'm an adult. I have to be acting as an adult, yeah? I have to be responsible. That doesn't settle. Not yet, bro. Not yet. So, this, bringing it into a video that she was 18, she stole 6 items of clothing. Bro, I've done dumb shit. Everyone has done dumb shit. She was dumb enough to get caught. There's only difference in that. The only difference, bro, is that she got caught. That's it.
On top of this, she had to carry an offender identification card while also attending an anti-shoplifting program. However, here's where it gets interesting. Rather than simply showing up and doing her 40 hours of community service, she sat around and did nothing. Luann didn't report to her community supervisor, didn't pay the fees she was supposed to pay, and didn't even show up to any of the community service when scheduled. For this reason, she would be arrested again, and instead...
Wait, you're getting arrested for that? I thought you were just getting a fine for that. But I mean, we're talking about NA. NA is built different.
Instead of a $150 fine and a slap on the wrist, she will be sentenced to 2 months in the Houston-Harris County Jail. She will
2 months? Just because you didn't do 40 hours? 40 hours, bro, you can do 40 hours in fucking 1 week. That's a 9 to 5, bro. 5 days? Oh my god, yeah, see, that's what I was talking about. Even though you are 18, you're not very smart. You're still the teenager, you're still a kid. You're still thinking about dumb things and you're not thinking straight. Because, bro, I swear to God, bro, if she knew that, bro, you can choose either spend 40 hours now or by working, yeah? Or you can lose 2 months in jail. What do you think she would choose? The answer is obvious.
Will remain in jail for 30 days, after which she'll be released, and from the information available,
still 30 days.
Stay out of jail from that point onwards. Now, making a judgment about an individual's character based on what they did at the age of 18 is perhaps a little unfair.
Yep, that's exactly my point. It's kind of irrelevant, bro. Sure, you could go into the tangent that, oh my god, this shows the character. Brother, take a look at me 5 years ago and right now, bro, 2 different people. Same is going to happen in another 5 years. Bro, take a look at 10 years. Bro, the difference is huge.
Will change a lot in 18 years, so her going to jail could be totally discountable. But at the same time, I think it'd be unwise to pass it off altogether as, oh, she was just young and dumb. It's not exactly like she was 13 years old stealing some food because she needed to eat and didn't have any money. She was 18 years old and going out of her way to steal expensive clothing, something that's more...
Brother, what do you mean expensive? For 6 items? $114? Bro, that's less than 20 bucks per item. What do you mean expensive? That's the normal price of a sweater, no? I feel like the sweater is around $30. I don't know, brother.
More of a luxury than a necessity. Then, as mentioned, she would go on to double down on her mistake by failing to comply with the consequences. She just ignored them, giving us an insight into her character at a younger age. Perhaps this is a far-fetched assumption, but maybe we could also say that it showed us she had an innate willingness to cut corners in order to get what she wants, which...
Let's be real, I mean, sure, it sounds like a bad thing, but brother, at the end of the day, yeah, if I have a goal and in order to achieve it, I have a possibility to cut corners to achieve my goal faster. To satisfy my self-interest, and I can do it in a faster manner, bro. In a more efficient manner. Bro, you call it cutting corners, I call it efficiency. You know?
Which will be an important factor for later parts in the video. After this whole prison saga was over and done with, Luann would meet her future husband Cheyenne, with whom she would later have her first son Ryan in October 2011. In March...
Like she's a shitty person, but not because she shoplifted 20 years ago. Yeah, but Sunny's trying to combine these 2 things right now. He's making an argument based on that. Sure, yeah, background check is nice and all, but I don't know, I really don't care about that. I honestly don't think the shit she did 20 years ago as a teenager, well, technically adult woman already because she's 18, because legally speaking, yeah, but let's be real, I don't think it's relevant and it holds water in this argument.
2015, at the age of only 3.5, Ryan asked his mum, how come I'm not on YouTube when all the other kids are?
I was watching other people and I was like, why am I not on there? And
following this statement, Ryan's parents would create the Ryan Toys Review channel and begin making the videos with him shortly thereafter.
Let's go get it then, you want it?
Bro, so it was his idea after all. Bro, it was his idea at 3 years old, oh my fucking god. Quite simple though. Genius lies within simplicity.
Okay, put it in the cart.
In July 2015, only 4 months after creating the channel, they would see their first piece of viral success with their video, Giant Lightning McQueen Egg Surprise.
I'm filling up gas.
Which gained 20 million views after...
20 million views 4 months after creating the channel. Brother. Bro, I don't think I have that amount of views after 3 years of YouTube right now. I'm not saying I'm salty, but you know, I am slightly salty. But on the other hand, I understand why it worked. It was early years of YouTube where anything you upload goes, and they were focusing on the toy reviews. just targeting the entire market of children. You know? Market of children, bro, that sounded wrong. But you get the idea. Entire audience of children, there we go.
Only 1 month. Following this success, the channel began posting new videos daily, and while this was great for the growth of the channel, it began the discussion about whether the channel was really in the best interest of Ryan, or was it borderline abuse to have the child doing so much work with the money ultimately going to the parents.
YouTube algorithm was funky a few years ago, lol. I mean, it always is. It still is funky, because at the end of the day we have to understand that YouTube as a business understands one thing: you have to innovate. If you don't innovate, you die. So that's what they're doing. They're experimenting with some questionable shenanigans. Like, take an example a few years ago when they released a community post. Community polls, you could have voted in that. And that was bringing so much traction to any channel, bro. It doesn't matter, we had 100 subscribers. You'd post a meme, a picture of something in that community tab. Straight up, you would explode. That was insane.
There's always been a question of ethics in any discussion relating to kids' channels on YouTube.
What are the labor laws about putting your kids in videos? Like, how do you quantify the value that they're bringing to the content?
Are there?
Is that value going back to them?
But is the criticism towards preteens making more than $1 million a year on the YouTube platform just pure jealousy from other people who might be in their 40s making 60 grand a year? Or is there
Yeah, I'm one of them, but I fully understand this take.
a legitimate case for concern? It's an extremely difficult topic to determine for a few main reasons. Firstly, there'd be channels where the child, being the main star, legitimately wants to be a part of the show, which is apparently the case with Ryan.
What was special is that he wanted his own YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of parents who, like, come on, pushing their kids out there.
However, there are other channels on which you can tell the kids clearly don't want to be involved in the videos, and the parents are forcing them to appear in order to gain ad revenue.
Yeah, these are the most fucking disturbing videos I ever saw on YouTube. There were videos of family drama that was scripted when, let's say, dad is smashing son's Xbox because he failed in school, but that shit is scripted. But that was hilarious. And then there's actual scenarios where real families follow the same example of Ryan's toy reviews. Or other family vlog channels. Like, bro, that's another story, but that shit is horrible. When they're literally forcing their children into their videos. And I don't know, bro. I don't think that's going to reflect positively on the child's mental health. That's a bit of a gamble now that I think about it, bro. Because you are gambling that all of this exposure, you're literally sacrificing your child's mental health right now in order to gain a little bit of a monetary profit. So that gamble is that this profit will be enough in the next 5 years to pay for your child's psychologist. If you don't make money, if you don't make enough money, bro, you're kind of a dick of a parent. No, you're a dick of a parent in any case, but you get the idea.
Cody!
So in order to determine whether Ryan being involved in the videos is a part of the channel's dark side, we have to first determine a few different things. Is it voluntary involvement? Is he being held at gunpoint to perform? Does he have to deal with the difficult parts of the channel like editing, criticism, and innovation? How much of the spoils and rewards actually go to Ryan in the present and future? We see comment after comment talking about how they are exploiting him, which would be awful if true. But simply having him appearing in the videos isn't really exploitation. We need to ask more questions. Now, the first thing we have to establish here in order to determine whether Ryan's appearance is a part of the dark side of the channel is whether or not Ryan is being forced to appear in the videos. Now, Ryan stated that the channel was birthed because he personally wanted to be on YouTube and it wasn't because his parents forced him.
So far, so
However,
good,
it's also important to question this statement with a healthy level of skepticism. Ryan was only 3.5 when he was first put on the platform.
Yeah, level of skepticism, sure. If we're looking at your origins, bro, my money is on the fact that Ryan just wanted to have a channel. Like, just like he said, other kids are on YouTube, why am I not on YouTube? Sure, in his mind, I don't know, bro, we're talking about 3.5 years old. What kind of mind is there, you know? Let's be real, it's just a child. A small child, very small child, bro. Maybe my guy just wanted one video, and you put it on replay. He's fucking child, he will not realize that's the content for children, bro. It's the same shit on the loop. But, you know, then his parents maybe realize that, hey, maybe take this entire YouTube thing and turn it into a profit. Just maybe.
It's hard to believe that any kid of that age would already be keen to
He wanted to have a YouTube channel, but I'm pretty sure his parents realized how much profit they made from and forced him. Yeah, this is the same idea I'm leaning towards too.
Personally appear on any kind of public platform. But I could be completely wrong with that. As shown in the same video, the #1 most desired job for kids aged 8 to 12 is
YouTube star, followed by teacher, professional athlete, musician, and astronaut.
I was waiting for astronaut, but I mean, Teacher and athlete. Athlete, sure, because kids watch NBA, watch football, whatever, you know?
Musician.
Musician, sure. Everyone wants to be the next Gucci, you know? The Gucci Mane and whatnot, Kanye West, for obvious reasons. Astronaut? Straight up, I see that's a Chinese thing, because the same survey was asked in China, and kids... Bro, we're getting these answers here, yeah. YouTube star, musician, athlete, bro, it's all bull. In China, bro, answers were engineer, astronaut, doctor, the classic, yeah? The fucking classic.
And astronaut.
However, if you did a study on the most desired jobs for kids aged 0 to 4, they probably wouldn't have an understanding about the concept of working a job. For this reason, I'd make the assumption that the idea for the channel was more than likely from Ryan's mum. And the story of Ryan just seeing other kids on YouTube and wanting to be a part of it as well is an over-embellished statement to go along with the channel's light-hearted branding. However, while this somewhat answers whose idea it was for the creation of the channel in the first place, it fails to answer the more important question: is Ryan being forced to appear in the videos? In the beginning, perhaps there was a trade-off between Ryan and his mum, where if Ryan's mum got to film Ryan in the videos, Ryan would be able to get as many toys as he wanted. A deal that makes sense for both parties involved. You can clearly see in the beginning that Ryan isn't being forced to appear in the videos. Kids aren't very good at hiding their emotions, especially 3-year-olds. If they're sad, they'll show it. If they're happy, they'll show it.
Why do you want this?
Because I like it.
Oh, is it fun? Does it look fun?
Ryan is
Bro, it does look fun.
be on camera here, and I don't see anything sinister going on in the beginning, except for the fact that maybe Ryan's mum is using the toys in order to get a nice reaction out of Ryan. But as time has progressed and Ryan now has a lifetime supply of toys, using toys as a reward isn't really going to be all that interesting to him anymore. Especially considering he's getting older, which makes me think that unless there's some kind of other incentive for him, the only other way to get him to constantly appear on camera is with a bit of force. If we combine this with the fact that their channel has somewhat of a schedule and uploads almost daily, we can almost be certain that there are days where Ryan doesn't feel like making the content and would have to be
yeah, that's actually true. Now that I think about it, bro, that's a fucking child. Bro, it's difficult doing this shit as adult. And adults, as opposed to children, are more mature, you know? They have more of emotional intelligence. You can hide the pain and you still do the thing that must be done. But children, bro, best of luck doing that. Best of luck forcing them to hide the pain, you know?
Be somewhat forced by his parents in order to appear in the videos, which would be an element of the channel's dark side. However, I could be wrong with this once again, and here's why. Firstly, because as previously mentioned, even a 9-year-old isn't very good at hiding their emotions. If he wasn't willing to appear in the videos, he'd be able to tell straight away.
Also, now I have another idea, chat. The thing is that when he started YouTube, he was 3.5 years old. Now, at this point of the video, he's 9 years old, right? So my guy spent literally 60-70% of his life doing YouTube videos. That's the only thing he knows, that's the only thing he wants, that's the only thing he needs. Now that you think about it, you might be asking, what the fuck are you talking about? Think about the chess prodigies. Think about actual chess prodigies. They are being forced by parents. Well, not forced. They are being, yeah, those young kids are being introduced to chess at a very young age. 2 years, 3 years. That's how chess works. And that's what we're going to do. For the next 5 years, we'll be playing only chess. We'll be learning chess. And at the age 12, bro, we've got another Magnus Carlsen. King number 1, top G in the chess. The same idea, but different field. Yeah, now think about it, yeah, it's actually possible. Some of them play chess before they even can walk. Familiarize themselves with the toys, with the playing pieces. Bro, instead of Thomas the Tank Engine, you're getting to play with the rooks.
Secondly, Ryan doesn't actually have a very big role on the channel in terms of workload. He's the host and the face of the channel, but compared to the rest of the work required, those are probably the easiest jobs. A lot of these comments that state that the parents are exploiting the son for views must think that this kid is working 15 hours every single day being whipped by the parents in order to get out tomorrow's video. But I would totally disagree with that.
Bro, imagine Ryan being locked up in a fucking basement. In a sweatshop, making videos, bro, editing the videos, creating new thumbnails. Like, my guy's recording the video, doing a bit of a streaming shenanigans, doing a bit of gaming, that's it, calling the day, and going into basement and editing for the next 5 hours. Then he's waking up, got sacks under his eyes, dying, a bit of makeup, there we go, another day. Another toy, another day.
Not going to be doing any editing. He's not going to have to worry about scripting. He's not going to be dealing with sponsors. He's constantly innovating with new ideas. He's not going to be dealing with sets. All of the hard work is being done by Ryan's parents and their team.
Behind the scene, it's a lot more work than somebody might think. It is very time consuming. I would do all the editing after Ryan goes to bed, so I would stay up several hours.
Assuming all of the back work is done by the
So if we follow the same idea, she is lying, it was Ryan who was doing all of that. So we as the parents were recording Ryan, we did everything good, and then we said, Ryan, here's the computer, you do the editing, we go to sleep.
parents. Each of these videos could probably be filmed within the space of an hour. On top of this, there are videos where Ryan literally has 3 lines, with the rest of the video being taken over by an adult talking in a kid's voice.
Wait,
Ryan's
what?
total quote-unquote work week is probably like 10 hours max, which isn't exactly all that bad, especially when considering how much the channel is earning, which brings us to the question of finances.
Revenue is being generated because these children are creating content. Where does that money go? Is it parents that are keeping that, or is it kids?
One of the often perceived dark sides of the Ryan's World channel is that the parents are pocketing all the money. I hope when Ryan's 21, he gets to sue his parents for not sharing any money with him. Now the level...
No, that's assuming he's not getting any money. I mean, realistically, maybe his parents are taking a decent percentage to themselves to live a good life. I'm just being the devil's advocate in here. Maybe they are investing into his retirement portfolio, into his college portfolio, you know? With 29 millions a year, I'm pretty sure he's good, sure.
The level of idiocracy within this comment is immeasurable. Firstly, because I've had a good look and there's absolutely no sources pointing to how much Ryan receives for his contribution. So first things first, we don't even know how much of the revenue Ryan is receiving for his portion of the work. However, let's make some assumptions. Let's assume that maybe 5% of all profits go back to Ryan for him to use at an older age, and that's probably an extremely conservative estimate. Assuming the channel made $29 million in 2020, that's still $1.5 million for approximately 10 hours of work per week.
That sounds like 5% of the stuff. Jesus fucking hell, bro. I'd say not bad, chat. What did you achieve? What did I achieve? What are we doing in here, bro?
Available for Ryan to use at a later date. And if that's the case, I can't really see how that's such a negative. He'll never have to work a crappy first job that he hates. He'll never have to take out a loan just to go to college. Even if only 1% of the profit goes to Ryan, that's still $300,000 a year in his name at the age of 9. And while as long as Ryan is being paid enough to set him up for life, it's hard to see any problems there. However,
300k a year, realistically, that's quite a sum, bro. Bro, a couple years ago I saw the study that said, financial economic study that said if you earn more than 32,000 or maybe 33,000 a year, you are already in the top 1% of the world, because, well, financially looking. So you know, multiply it by 10 and you realize it's only 1% of the income for a 9-year-old. So yeah, it is what it is.
A problem might raise when you examine how the money is being earned, another element that's been associated with the dark side of the channel. In September 2019, a complaint was filed to the Federal Trade Commission claiming that the sponsored videos feel too authentic and cannot be distinguished from unsponsored content. At the time, it was revealed that around 90% of Ryan's World's videos contain sponsored content, all of which being targeted to preschools who were too young to distinguish between a sponsored video and a review. Ryan's parents responded by saying that the well-being of our viewers is always a top priority for us. Follow all platforms' terms of service and all existing laws and regulations.
Technically, yeah, I mean, when you have that much of an income, when you're making 30 million a year based off a single YouTube channel that's reviewing toys, sure, you're going to lawyer up to understand that, bro, what can we do to play around the rules a little bit and, you know, to fully understand what are the rules. So yeah, play around the all existing laws and regulations, and that's actually big brain. Because YouTube and US Senate introduced a little bit of a shenanigans that banned advertising towards kids. So that's why YouTube Kids was created, boys. And every single toy review channel died overnight. That entire week was fucking dramatic.
Including advertising disclosure statements. And I guess this one as a whole is just another question of ethics. To what extent should they reveal to their audience that what they're watching is sponsored? Will it even make a difference considering it's stated that kids younger than the age of 8 or 9 cannot recognize advertising within media? Many reviews of the Ryan's World channel state that the content targets your toddlers like cigarette companies. Should advertising be disallowed within the videos altogether? What incentive would Ryan's World have to continue making content if they completely removed sponsors? And
that's a good question. Out of curiosity, what incentive would they have if all of the money would be removed? Ryan, ToysReview. Bro, they're still making videos, really? But it has to be considered as YouTube Kids. Hold on, out of curiosity. Yep, try YouTube Kids. They're not making money off of it. Because CPM, the revenue, ad revenue on this is non-existent 4 hours ago. But I mean, look at the views. 2 millions. Bro, they're not making money, but they're still making videos. What's the incentive? That's a good question.
A natural element of the channel's dark side is that in order for the creation of the content to be worth it, they kind of have to advertise to kids. And if parents want to distract their kids with YouTube content, they have to bear the brunt of having their kids advertised to. All in all, I think this might be one where you guys have to draw your own conclusion as to the shade of black that permeates the dark side of the Ryan's World channel. Is Ryan being exploited for the financial gain of his parents? Or is it reasonable as long as he's receiving a cut of the pie? Is it ethical to continue sponsorships to an audience?
They are making money from those companies, no? I mean, that could make sense. But we're talking about daily videos, no? Well, almost daily videos. No, we're talking actual daily videos. No, almost. Yeah, well, they have weekends. That's nice to see. Assuming that they're being sponsored, every single video is being sponsored. I mean, on one hand, sure, you're getting exposure. I'm looking from the perspective of the businesses, of the toy shops. Sure, you're getting exposure. But you have to mention the shop, you have to mention the toy. Learn about the solar system for kids with Ryan's World. I don't see any catching here, bro. It's just straight up educational. I don't see monetary gain from this. It's straight up educational. That's a good thing. I don't see the product they're selling. I don't see the shop. What? Christmas morning special opening. Yeah, we're not doing that. Solar system. Rare Pokemon cards for family, with family. And it's still under YouTube Kids. What? Okay, I mean, technically, they are talking about the rare Pokemon cards. Is that the angle? Is that the product in here? Bro, I'm struggling to see the angle here. Hold up.
Audience too young to understand that they're being advertised to? Does the criminal history of Luan Kaji make an impact on how the channel is run today?
Nope.
It's safe to say that their practices aren't perfect. But hey, for the many parents out there that appreciate his ability to stop their child from crying, Ryan's World has its place on the platform, perfect practices or not.
True that. True that. Bro, also when it comes down to children in YouTube videos, but I mean, technically, in this YouTube channel, the main star is Ryan, you know? So sure, it makes sense. But now to think about it, when it comes down to other channels that have kids in their videos, it's kind of disgusting. The only person I've seen that does it perfectly, has kids in his videos, is Casey Neistat. And Casey was the one doing the interview in H3H3 podcast in here. Where is it? Well, you get the idea, yeah? But basically, my boy Casey Neistat is... There we go. This guy. His videos, he's an OG. Love this guy. His videos are amazing, straight up amazing. To my knowledge, he's the only YouTuber who can portray his lifestyle in YouTube videos with his kids in the videos without actually showing the faces or ruining the private life of the kids that will haunt them in the next following 5 years. So yeah, it is what it is, brothers. Also about this subject that she did when she was 18 doesn't hold the water, bro. Let's be real. Anyway, and that's the video, boys.